Friends, Greg, Newmaster, coming at you again with another action figure review. If you like the video, please like and subscribe and help me to build my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much. But today we have Marvel Legends Retro Symbiote Spider-Man. And I gotta say, this is one of the most iconic Spider-Man costumes of all time. First debuted in Secret Wars number 8, was further enhanced in the future by Todd McFarlane with the creation of Venom. Just such a wonderful storyline. I would say it's the second greatest Spider-Man suit next to the classic suit, classic blue and red. It's just such a beautiful, sleek design. The black with the white, large symbol expanded, wrapping around his upper torso into the back. And it is just a marvelous, simplistic but beautiful and sleek design. We eventually come to realize that the suit is alive and it's a symbiote and it's trying to take over Peter, and Peter is his host. And well executed in the cartoon, I must say. Very enjoyable. Slightly changed where, and this is the direction that the movies have gone with, that it's an alien that came from outer space, where traditionally in Secret Wars they were on another planet or maybe even another dimension. I can't remember exactly. Fighting the Secret War, and that's how Peter acquired the suit there. But the suit moves on to Eddie Brock eventually out of revenge against Peter, because Peter realized that it was alive and it was trying to take him over, and he eventually got it off of him by the use of a bell tower. And I appreciated the original Spider-Man 3 Sam Raimi movie because they executed the story pretty well. It was unfortunate that they chose Topher Grace to be Eddie Brock. Was not even close to how he was in the comic books. I think Tom Hardy has done a great job with it. And I really hated the look of the suit in the third Spider-Man movie. That's my biggest complaint, because they rejected this design. And they went with basically just a black and gray suit of what the traditional suit looked like in the Raimi movies, with all the webbing, the same design, everything. And it didn't look like this. So I hope in the future, when they do eventually have Spider-Man in the black costume, that it looks like this, because it's such a great design. And you don't need to change it, and you don't need to keep messing with it. It looks great. Just use what is there. That's what the fans love. So I really hope that they go with this design in the future, whether it be Tom. I don't know if Tom Holland will get the black suit or not. They seem to imply that in Spider-Man, in the newest Spider-Man. But I hope they do it with Andrew Garfield, and I hope he crosses over with Tom Hardy's Venom. I think that'll be awesome. So enough of me rambling. Let's get a good look at this figure. It's great. I mean, look at this packaging. I don't normally get excited about the packaging, but this packaging makes me happy, and it's nostalgic because it takes me back to the 90s when I first collected these figures from Toy Biz. The black costume figure was pretty cool, and it actually had a piece, like there was a square piece that came out of his chest, and you could pull it out and it would retract back, and that was supposed to be indicative of the symbiote being alive and moving on Peter. Also, I remember my Secret Wars, my original Secret Wars action figure. That was the first black costume Spider-Man figure I ever had. Probably many people had that in the late 80s, early 90s. So that was an awesome figure too. But I was so excited about this figure. And I'm not going to lie, I have pre-ordered the Mayfex black costume Spider-Man figure because I think they just do phenomenal work and the articulation is great. But this may be better looking than that figure and much cheaper because this is a traditionally $25 figure while that is a $100 figure. But this looks amazing. No pun intended, amazing Spider-Man. But anyhow, so let's get this open. Here's the front of the packaging, just as it was in the 90s, with the 90s figure from Toy Biz. Here it is on the back, and what a great series, too. I also pre-ordered the Hobgoblin. This is a great-looking Ben Reilly figure, but I did not purchase him or Shocker or Armor Spider-Man or Hammerhead. But what does it say here on the back? Spider-Man gets an all-new look when he finds a sleek black costume in a space shuttle wreck. Little does Spidey realize he's joined himself to the predatory alien symbiote Venom. So that's what it says on the back. And let's open this guy up. They have sealed these cards in a weird way. Mine was bent in shipping, but I don't care because I opened the figure, but it's sort of layered in there. So it's going to be challenging getting him out. They really make you work for it. I don't know why. Where it just sort of used to be glued on there, but they kind of doubled it up for some reason. So if you want to get it out there, you're really going to have to destroy the card, unfortunately, for those of you who like to preserve the card. And I gotta say that this body mold is what really does it for me. I don't know about you all, but, you know, when Peter is in the black symbiote costume, he needs to look buff, like really thick and strong, because that's what he initially looked like in the Secret Wars original drawings and artwork, and that's what he looked like on the show. The suit is supposed to make him stronger and enhance his powers, which it does. He also gets the natural webbing. That was an exciting thing of the symbiote costume because he didn't have to make his own webbing anymore. He didn't need the web shooters because the symbiote costume just had it naturally. But just look at this body mold. This is the newer body mold that we have seen first. We were first introduced to it with this Spider-Man, the Retro Spider-Man, which I love. And it's just a great body mold, very evocative of the 1970s Spider-Man, where he just had a regular mid-range body, instead of the very skinny sort of runner's body that we would see later on in the 90s with McFarlane and Bagley. I always forget how to say his name. Forgive me. So, you know, this is a very thick and muscular Spider-Man. It just looks great. I mean, look at the mask. Look at the cowl. It looks just like the Secret Wars cover. So, I mean, if you're a traditionalist and you love the very first look, it just looks great. The symbol looks great. You know, the black that they use, it's kind of matted. Also, what is it? Spectacular, or I think it's Web of Spider-Man #1, where Peter is also in the black costume, which is a very iconic cover. We get 2 sets of hands, of course. So if you want him to be in the crouching pose, you can swap out, and you have some open wall crawling sort of crouching hands. And also they give you the web shooter hands, which this is not appropriate for when it's the symbiote, because he shoots it out of the top of his wrists, right out of the white part on the costume. But when he Spider-Man, there's a time where he continues to use a black costume made of cloth that's not alive, and he goes back to web shooters. So depending on how you want to imagine your figure, you have the web shooting hands. So here's a comparison to the previous Hasbro. There's been quite a few of these. This is one of the newest body molds, where this is the newest one. And this is a really great figure too. This has sort of the Bagley eyes, where they're nice and big. And if you like that, that's good. This is like a Scarlet Spider mask. They use the same head sculpt and eyes for the Scarlet Spider. But yeah, so this is just a skinnier body mold. I like this one better. He just looks muscular. It's a better looking figure. I like this new torso articulation design that they've used. So you get the double points of articulation, where on this one you just have the single crunch, and it's kind of mechanical looking, where this is a bit more natural, which is very beautiful. And it just looks great. And he has all this nice articulation. We get the butterfly joints, the double jointed elbows, which I'm a huge fan of. Like the mask, like I said, the mask just looks so good. Just really nice. They're stepping up their game with these Marvel Legends. He can do a straddle that far. He can kick that high. Do they have... I think they have the drop pegs in here too, where it gives you a little bit more range of motion. So you can get some dynamic posing. You got the double jointed knees, of course. There's a thigh cut. There's a boot cut. No toe articulation. There's an ankle hinge. We also get the ankle pivot, which is great. So just all these nice little mechanical innovations that they've done in the engineering of these figures, which is just so enjoyable for us collectors. And like I said, the price is not bad at all. If you can find it in Target, this wave is popping up all over the country right now. If you follow any toy people on Instagram. So it's great. So keep an eye out for this at Target. Obviously, it's on eBay. Big Bad Toy Store is another place you can get him. Entertainment Earth also. So just great. Just really wonderful, beautiful figures. And like I said, I have pre-ordered the Mafex version, but I know that the Mafex version has that standard body mold that they've been using for Spider-Man, which I think is great, but I don't think it's appropriate for the initial symbiote costume, because he's a much buffer. But I'll do a review of that when that figure eventually comes out. And I hope you guys liked the video. God bless you all. Highly recommend this figure if you're a Spider-Man fan. Peace.